guys, welcome to today. I didn't upload anything last week because I was the best man at my mate's wedding, Sean's wedding. He was the one who couldn't play Battlefield worth crap. So I was down there, it all went off relatively well. You know, the usual kind of on-the-spot issues at any wedding, but no, it went off really well. They had a good time, a couple of bevies. And that was that. That's why I wasn't about last week. And this week is a quick I'm still here style upload because something's come up. Yes, I have accidentally bought a car. Nothing major, nothing serious. Basically what it is as you guys are hopefully aware of from various things I've uploaded over the last few months with Stuart, Simon, Dan. There's a new one now, Carl, I've got to introduce him about. We all want to get together and run a different channel around cars. You know, do a YouTube thing on cars. Oh, Simon, by the way, because obviously you guys know he was teaching me a bit of trading and currency stuff and all that. Well, that's gone on hold now, but he started up his own channel. I'll put a link into his channel below, so if you want to go and see what it's all about and listen to him, then trundle off and have a look. The link's below, it's up to you. He's a prolific uploader. I'll warn you now. He splits what he's doing down into segments and then uploads it and then goes on to the next segment. So there's a lot of uploads, but they're not massively long. I think that's best because there's a lot to get your head around in that, and to be fair, it's kind of, you're looking at a screen and following his mouse across the screen as he's doing various bits and bobs, or he's pointing, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I'll put that link down below, so if you want to go and check it out, go and check it out, whatever, it's up to you. Now, the reason I bought a car is this is with Carl, by the way. We're going to... It's a YouTube car, if that makes sense. It's a non-runner, 133,000, I think, something like that. It's a 2 litre Mondeo diesel. It's diesel, but it's a 2 litre diesel. We know the reason it stopped running was because of the fuel pump. However, we also know that there's a slight overheating problem with it, and when you open the bonnet and have a look, there is pools of oil that have obviously been squirted from the engine on top of the fan. The case for the fans is covered in oil, and all round there is covered in oil, so something's wrong somewhere, and unfortunately we're going to be forced against our will to strip the engine down and find out what's wrong with it. And of course, once the engine's stripped, I mean, a little skim, a porter polish, you know, doing all these things, well, it's stripped down. I mean, seriously, the work's already done. So we're going to be prattling about with that. Now, that is all going to be done for the car channel once we're up and running. Now, I'm trying to schedule it because if you think about it, there's myself, there's Simon, there's Stuart, there's Dan, and now there's Carl. And we all have our own lives, our own working schedules and things like that. Fortunately, Carl and myself have the same days off, Sundays and Mondays. As you know, I changed them because I'm earning more money now. But we're having to try and organise things, and what I want to do is I want to get everything sorted out. So we're going to prat about with this Mondeo, do stuff like that. And then once we've rebuilt it, once we've got it running and working, we're going to take it to Land's End, and we're going to go from Land's End to John O'Groats and film everything and whatever, and see just how good we are at doing this. And it's all going to be for YouTube. It is specifically a YouTube car. Okay? So everything we do on it, I'm going to be filming. Now, you guys can't see what the camera is stuck on, obviously. So I shall take a quick photo for you. But I've bought myself that stand, which you can now see. It's obviously got the little Sony on it at the moment. It is designed for the bigger camera, which I am hoping to build up to buying some point this year, because they just look cool, and you can actually hold them properly and get all around. They've got the microphone in them for better sound quality and just things like that. And to be fair, you can get a relatively decent one for about 1,500 quid. So, but anyway, on top of that, I've also been going out, and if you're following me on Twitter and Facebook and things like that, you'll have seen me tweeting these a little while ago. I don't need that. They're just memory cards. But I've been going out getting some more SJ cams. In actual fact, well, there you go. 4 extra SJ cams. Obviously things like that. They're for angles, setting up angles as you're driving along and things like that. And of course, to do all of that stuff, you've got all your various mounts, and then the proper mount so you can properly stick it on the side of the vehicle as you're driving along, and so that it's definitely not going to fall off, well, hopefully. But again, these are only SJ, so they're relatively cheap. I'm trying to do everything on a tight budget. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, car parts count as Valentine's, and I'm classing these as car parts, so she can't have a go at me. But anyway, I'm building up all of this kit, and we're gonna. Today I'm going down to the garage where he works. It's the garage I hang around in. It's actually how I met him. I've known him 4 weeks, so this is kind of off the cuff style thing. He's a fully qualified mechanic. He's done college, he's got various certifications, he's got his City and Guilds MVQ level 3, so if he wants to, he can train to be an MOT tester and go that way. We're currently talking about opening up a garage, servicing and working on cars, because as you know, I like cars. But that's, God knows how long that's going to take. I mean, we've got a heck of a lot to go with that. But we've gone out and we've got ourselves this Mondeo that we're going to be prattling about with. Like I said, I'm going to go down there today. I know they've got the big bosses down there, so I'm only allowed on as a customer. Even though I do spend quite a few of my days off down there, prattling about and helping out and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go down there, hopefully get a few angles, a few shots with this camera or what have you. Basically show you around the car so you know I'm not lying, so you know we've got this car. But then it's basically just a rebuild, get it running. I mean, getting it running is going to be easy because it's a fuel pump. I mean, it's the in-tank fuel pump, so drop the fuel tank off, clean it out whilst it's dropped off, I suppose. Make sure there's no sludge in it because you don't want that feeding through the lines. It's been standing for a while. You'll most likely see when I take you round it because there's quite a bit of mould on the seat belts and stuff like that we've got to clean off. But that's just because it's been sitting. To get it running, it's going to be change the fuel pump and then it should bleed the system and then it should start. But it does have a bit of a overheating issue, as I said. So we're going to use that as an excuse to strip the damn thing down and yeah, go that way. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to go down there a couple of hours time and make some footage around the car. Hopefully, if it's not too busy down there, introduce Carl and edit that into today, and you'll hopefully meet Carl and see the car. But that's what I'm working on at the moment. Now, I do have road footage, that I'm going to be prattling over for the next upload, but because I've got various bits and bobs to do today, obviously shopping, going down to the garage, the usual mundane crap along with this stuff. This is just an upload saying, I'm still here, I haven't gone anywhere, and my future plans are looking quite good. Because if we set up a garage and get it running, we've looked at a couple of locations. I'm gonna have to. I can never get this right. I think it's re-registering the purpose of the land because car shops, scrap yards, things like that. Now, I never say this right. It's Latin. Sorry, but I never say this right. But it's sui generis. That is what it's registered at. It's SUI then space generis with a G. And that's what you have to register the land as. Light industry, for example, I think that's A1, A2. But you've got various qualifications for the land. It's for Americans who are watching, it's basically just zoning legislation. What you can use the land for, what you can't use it for. So you've got A 1, 2 and 3, B 1, 2 and 3, C 1, 2 and 3, D 1, 2 and 3, and then you've got sui generis, or however you say that. So places we're looking at are currently under warehousing and or light industry. It's not difficult because you don't need planning permission to register it to what we'd need to, but that's whatever. It's just one of those things. But we're currently looking at a few places. One of the places that we've actually taken a shine to is a barn. Yes. So it's basically a farmyard, and the farmer's renting out all his barns, but it's like the main grain barn. It's got 3-phase power in it, lighting, obviously, stuff like that, and it's big. It's a decent size. I'd be able to reverse the truck I drive for a living in there. So it's a big enough size for doing cars and bits and bobs like that. It's not on the main drag, which is my only reservation, because if you're going to run like a car garage and stuff, how happy are people to drive down a farm road and leave their car there? You see what I mean? But for most things that we do, especially with YouTube and buying cars and selling them, flipping cars, it will work. We've got to have a decent look at. We haven't seen the site yet. We haven't been there yet, but we've got to go and have a look at it. I'm reserved because, like I said, it's down a farm track, and you guys own cars. Would you leave it at a barn instead of like a car garage? You see what I mean? But we shall see. But yeah, we've got so much to do. I always do this to myself. I don't know why. I finally get myself to a position where I've got nothing to do. All I've got to do is just maintain what I'm doing. It's nice and simple. I'm sailing along. I was already working with Simon Stewart and that lot anyway, as you saw with the last one with Dan and that car. But yeah, bumped into Cole down at the garage. He was taken on there because he's recently moved to the area with his missus, and he was looking for a job. And it was in the car garage. He lives about a quarter of a mile from the garage itself. And one of the first things he did when he got to the area was just wander in and say, "Look, you're looking to take on staff?" Because he does a lot of private jobs, so he's looking for a full-time income because he's got a mortgage and he's got kids. And he wants a full-time job, but he does private jobs as well, so it's all whatever. So he doesn't really care. But they took him on as the assistant manager to the site. And I went trundling down there about a week later, and I knew nothing of this. I didn't know the site had changed hands. I didn't know anything. And I go wandering on. Dan's still there and everything, and out comes Carl. He's like, "Can I help you, mate?" Because, I've gone walking in style thing. Instead of going into the customer area, I've just gone trundling in. He's like, "Can I help you, mate?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's down about." And of course, Dan's come out and he said, "Yeah, no, he's all right. He'll bugger off and go get the coffees in a minute, so he's good." And then I got chatting to him, and because he's got all his qualifications and virtually every tool you're ever going to need, and he wants to run his own garage, I chatted about doing YouTube stuff, kind of following the progression of a garage, building a garage and everything like that, because obviously I want to do the car channel. And I thought, this is a good idea. And anyway, sorry about that. That was that edit there. The doorbell went. Postman dropping something off, or UPS, I should say, dropping something off for Bert. God knows what it is. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, because he wants to, because of the YouTube channel and everything like that. it's good to kind of follow that. And we were chatting away. Now, he's a good mechanic, but he's a bit doesn't understand the business side of things. Whereas I've got accountant, I've got solicitors set up, I've got everything in place, and I understand the running of business and stuff like that. So we've been chatting, and yeah, we're going to do a joint venture. Now, as you know, I recently ended up finally being able to close that damn Santander account down from a failed venture with somebody else. That was to do with cars. The thing is, that somebody else wasn't a qualified mechanic. That somebody else was a bit like me, a DIY guy prattling about with cars and stuff like that. And alarm bells were ringing, but I ignored them. But anyway, Carl has the money to invest in it. He's got all his certification, like I said. So, fingers crossed. And if I can get a location all sorted out and a garage all sorted out, then car show's going to be easy. We have the facility. So, But anyway, it seems like it's good. But the thing is, as I said, is put myself on a position where I've got a lot to do again. But it's funny. It keeps you entertained. It keeps you thinking. And now, with the driving that I'm doing, I'm in one facility now, and before with some of the bits and bobs I was doing the covert stuff, I was going to various places, but now I'm in one, and the issue is it's all distribution centre to local factories, so it's all shuttle stuff. There's the odd occasional run, but it is quite literally shuttle stuff, and they plan you for 12 hours, so you can go to the factory, sit there for a few hours, get your load, come back, go back, a few hours, go back. When you hit your 12, that's it, your day's done. So I could now work 4 days a week, and because of the pay, because of what it is, I'm earning roughly what I was earning in the wholesale on a 6-day week. So I do 4 on, 3 off. Well, I do 5. I allow myself to do 5 and have my Sundays, Mondays off, but I can do 4 on with 3 off, and it's just so easy. I've got all the time now. And so ventures like this I can concentrate on. It's genius. The issue is trying to make content even on a covert level at this place. You'd be able to identify who it was quite easily. Like, for example, I could have set cameras up as I'm driving to work. I did that a couple of times. But of course, I'd be driving to the same place all the time. And eventually you'd be like, oh, I can work that out. And the place I'm working for, because of what we go to the factories to collect and take back, it's a high value, which is why it pays so well. And it's a big no-no. I can tweet certain things, like if I'm stopped at a Greg's or something, obviously. But I can't really tweet where I'm going or stuff like that. I mean, it's on it. But it does mean that I've got time. Now, I do have old road footage that I can put together. Like I said, I've got a couple of those left. And chances are what I'm going to do, because I really cannot throw this income away. It's good. It's good. It's good. Like I said, I've accidentally gone out and bought a car, and I'm looking at starting up a garage, so it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not kicking the nuts. But what I'll most likely do with this channel is turn to like track magazines and comment on bits and bobs like that, and answer your questions. Just common questions that are always asked. And if I get the odd chance to go into a different facility, because I will take it. I mean, it's money. I'm not stupid, it's money. If I get the chance to go into another site that I don't really go into, I'm not too bothered about other sites, not now. But if I get the chance to, then I'll take my cameras along and I'll make some bits and bobs like that, because I don't really care, as long as I don't screw up, who I'm working for at the moment, I'm quids in. So that's what I'm going to do with my channel now. Like I said, I do have some road footage, old road footage that I've edited together that I'll chat over and all that kind of stuff to keep me going for a while and then see how it all pans out. But there you go, this is an update. I have dragged it on as usual, many apologies. I got carried away, I always do. But anyway, I've got to go and do the shopping and then go and have a look around this car. So I'll take you with me and you can have a shufty around the motor. Hopefully introduce Carl. I should be able to. He'll be seated next to me. But then again, if it's busy down there, he's going to be working. So, and it's a customer's car. But anyway, see you in a minute. Well, I'm here at the garage and he's busy doing some bits and bobs on a motor. So, oh, and the idiot, he left the keys, didn't he? Because he's got the keys, because it's down at the garage he works at, so he's got the keys, so if he has to move it, he can. Roll it forward and all that kind of stuff. But he's gone and left the keys at home. I was hoping to actually show you around the car. Of course I can't, which is an annoyance for me. But I did some little angles outside of it because he's got his car parked next to it, so it was a bit jammed up, and he's got this Astra slightly remapped. It goes like crap, that thing. 234 horse I think he's running out of that Astra, that black one. But yeah, he's busy at the moment, so that's kind of just put a kibosh on everything. It's never ending. It's why I'm sitting in my car doing this, because there's customers all over the place. So it's wonderful. But anyway, you've seen the car. I'll do what I can. I may very well have tomorrow off, so if I do, I shall come back down here. They haven't got a visit tomorrow, so I'll be able to come back down relatively early. And I'll most likely do something to introduce him, so maybe a little add-on upload tomorrow as well. Just so as you're introduced to him, because you've seen the car, but I might as well actually show you around the car if I can, you know. And I can always use that as part of the footage to start the other channel with. But yes, I suppose I should go back in and help, because I've got to go find some tyres. 3 customers came in, couldn't remember their tyre sizes. Every customer that goes to a tyre shop doesn't know their tyre sizes. So when I see cars pull in, and I'm mooching about doing not much, I'll wander to their cars and I'll have a look, and then I'll wander in and you see them in a line. And I've got quite a good memory, I can remember things. And it's a case of, you see them and you walk up and it's like, so what size are your tyres, sir? And they're like, oh, I don't know. And then I prattle up 225, 45, 17, 94 Ws. Things like that. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever is usually do. I shall see you in the next one, which will hopefully be tomorrow if I'm not working. At the moment I don't have a shift, so who knows. But anyway, catch you later, guys. Oh, this is how we move up in the world. Really slowly. And you let yourself down carefully.